Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? I think that's better. What's happening? What's going on? I know this is a little impromptu. I wasn't planning on doing a show today. It's episode 207 of McRae Live. Ooh, I love that. One more time. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a show today. We'll see if anybody shows up. I only posted this like 45 minutes ago that I wanted to quickly jump on and just kind of bring some, bring everybody up to speed and where we're at with It's Me Billy Chapter 2 and the Indiegogo campaign. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to get it out there. And we'll see who rolls on in throughout this next little bit. And yeah. But I realized that I didn't tell anybody that I was going live. I didn't say, hey, I'm doing this today. I just literally decided to just jump on and kind of talk about this. So again, we'll see if anybody shows up. Some people might show up. It's Friday as well. It's Friday. It's after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. It's still about, 1 p.m. on the West Coast. It's 9 p.m., across the pond. I mean, it's a really kind of a weird time, a funky time. And, but we'll see. We'll see if anybody shows up. I wanted to bring people up to speed on It's Me Billy Chapter 2 and where we're at and what's happening and what's going down in terms of the Indiegogo campaign and everything. Because as of today, well, I mean, technically tomorrow, I guess, because tomorrow is April 1st, April Fool's Day. But we are 1 month away. We are 1 month away from launching our Indiegogo campaign. And we've been working very hard behind the scenes and to get all of this ready to go. There's been lots that have been going on, obviously, and we're very excited to finally see if we can do this. There are people that reach out to me all the time and saying, can't wait to see it. But again, I have to stress that the movie has not been greenlit yet. We have to raise money first before we can do it. And we have to raise a lot of money first before we can do it. So again, we don't have the exact figures yet, but we're probably looking anywhere between, it's going to be more than the first time, I can tell you that. So you're probably looking in and around 80 or 90,000 Canadian, about 60, 65,000 US. But that's what it costs. That's what it takes, right? So it'll probably be somewhere in and around there. We're just finalizing the numbers now. But we've been working very hard behind the scenes and trying to get this all going. So let's start first with where we are in terms of the Indiegogo campaign. So like I said, we've been working on it. We are pretty much done in terms of the building of the campaign, in terms of the graphics and the perks and all of that fun stuff that you have to do. There's still a few perks that we are working on and trying to get done and figure out costs and all that kind of stuff. But we will be ready to launch this thing on May the 1st. Bruce is coming over this Sunday. There's a few things we need to work on in regards to the campaign this Sunday, as well as tackle some other things in regards to the film as well. So we'll be working all day and all afternoon on that on Sunday. But we will be ready to go. And we didn't want to change things up too much. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. You'll find on there. And once the campaign launches, actually probably campaign launch day, probably May the 1st, I can totally see myself on May the 1st, even going live. and just sort of, hyping it up, getting all you guys to hype it up, starting to spread the word. Because as I've said many times, and it's very true, it's not hyperbole, it is so important. And it's not just my campaign, it's important for anybody who launches an Indiegogo campaign, to have a strong start. It's very important to have a strong start because, you will hit that lull. There is that campaign lull, which usually happens in the middle. And then towards the end of the campaign, it usually picks up again a little bit because it's, buy now before it's gone kind of thing. And people want to get in on that. But there is always that lull that ends up happening, of course. And so it's so important that we have a very strong start. So on May the 1st, I forget if is it a Monday or a Tuesday? What is May the 1st? May 2023. It is a Tuesday. Excuse me, it's a Monday. It's a Monday. That's good. That's good. Right at the beginning of the week. That's good. So I will probably go live that day throughout the day. I don't know for sure, but I could certainly see myself going live throughout the day. And then, of course, we may even have a two dudes and some bullshit that night. I'll see how I feel and what's happening. But obviously, we do that show every Monday. But in terms of the, the perks, again, you'll get your Blu-rays, you'll have, your t-shirts and your hoodies and chances to be on this show, chances to be on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit as well. That was a big success first time around. People seem to really like that. So I spoke to Tony and asked if he would be all right if I make that a perk again. He was like, yeah, no problem at all. So that will definitely be, there'll be those opportunities as well. And posters and just lots of fun stuff and a few other things too that we're trying to work on that will be fun. So we are on track. We are on time. I started to build the campaign about a month ago. Actually, it was about March the 1st when I started to build the campaign. So we are on track to launch. And launch full on. But we got to have a strong start, and I mean, in that first week, again, I don't know, but in that first week, we have to have a strong start. People have often asked me, what will you do if you don't raise the money? And my answer is, well, it all depends on how much we do raise. Right? If we get close, like let's say we're asking for 80,000 and we manage in the 2 months we run the campaign to get to, 55. Well, that's not bad. It's pretty close. It's still not enough to be able to do what we want to do. But it's enough that it warrants running another campaign, right? We're like, you know what? Okay, we got 55 now in the bank. Okay, we need an extra 25. I think we can make that up. So let's run another campaign, right? Maybe at a lower point, get it into demand and, continue to, blah, 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 right? However, if on the first campaign, we only raise 25 or 20, then we'll just refund everybody. Some people have been surprised to hear that, but you can't make an $80,000 movie on a $20,000 budget. You just can't do that. And in order to be able to, make something from the movie, you can imagine you have to chop that thing up big time. So what are we going to deliver? 3 minutes of a scene? You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. If we only raise 20,000, well, then just the interest is not there. Now that doesn't mean, again, everybody's different. I'm just saying that obviously, we can't do it, right? So we would at that point just refund everybody. Now, hopefully that's not the case. And hopefully people do come out and continue to support. I've said this before. I will say it again. I'm going to continue to say it because it is important. On Indiegogo, always remember that it is not the long bombs and the 100-yard passes that win campaigns, that get people funded. It can be, right? Because every now and then there could be somebody that's watching that's got some deep pockets and they're like, well, you know what? Or you know, got a bonus at work or sold their car and's got some leftover money or had a rich uncle or who knows, right? Every now and then there are people that step up and go for the big perks, and that's fantastic. That's amazing, right? But at the end of the day, where campaigns are often won are a lot of people coming out at a lower price point. I have nearly 30,000 subscribers. I have nearly 3,000 followers on Instagram. I have nearly 5,000 followers on Twitter. I have nearly 4,000 followers on Facebook. If just 1,000 people, just 1,000 people, just 1,000 all bought a Blu-ray, we would probably be over $55,000 to $60,000, right? Do you know what I mean? Right? When you add that up in terms of, you know, the shipping and all that. And because again, that's Canadian, right? Canadian. Or if 2,500 people all picked up the digital download perk for like, I don't know what it's going to be. What is it? I don't know. I don't have my campaign up, but it'll probably be like $20 US or something like that, right? If 2,500 people all spent $20, we'd have like $70,000, right? You know what I mean? Now, again, that's easier said than done. And I understand that everybody's financial situation is different. I want everybody to know that I absolutely respect that. But when you look at it from that perspective, you sit back and you go, yeah, it's not as, I mean, listen, it's hard to get it's hard to get 10 people to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it like that, it's like, yeah, it is absolutely achievable. It absolutely can be done. So always remember that more often than not, it's a lot of people coming in low rather than a lot of people trying to come in really high. You know what I mean? That's not usually where it's done because, you know, 1,000 people can't necessarily afford the bigger tiers, right? So I've said that before. I've said it here. I will continue to say it because I do think it's important to keep that in mind. Because I think some people, when they see a number like 60,000, like it was for the first movie, or, you know, like I said, maybe it's going to be about 80,000 for part 2. They look at that and they go, oh God, that's such a big number. It is. And how are we ever going to achieve that? And it's like, hey, listen, we did it once. We can do it again. We absolutely can do it again. So just always keep that in mind. We had, I think, 663 backers the first time around. I'm hoping we can get more this time around, right? Or I'm hoping we can get at least the same amount, right? And like I said, if we don't reach our goal, if our goal, let's say, is 85,000, let's say, we would like to get at least between 50 and 60,000 to be able to go, okay, all right, we're in a good spot. We're going to need to run another campaign, but this is good. This is good. This is a good spot, right? That's what we would probably be aiming for. But like I said, if we only raise like 10,000 or something, well, then we'll just give that back, because unfortunately we just can't do it. It's not possible. So, but I believe we can do it. I absolutely believe we can do it. So the Indiegogo campaign is looking good. We are on point, and we are on schedule to launch on May the 1st. The exciting casting news, of course, this week, which was very exciting, is the one and only Lynn Griffin, Canadian actress Lynn Griffin. She's been in, of course, Black Christmas and Curtains and Strange Brew opposite Max von Sydow and Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. And she's been, you know, oh my God, she's had parts on NYPD Blue and all sorts of, she's been on a ton of stuff, right? And she was somebody that we had in mind. I'm not going to tell you details about her role, but she was somebody that we had in mind when we were writing the script. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, and there's been several different versions and drafts of the script. And we always knew we wanted to, bring Lynn back. We just didn't know how we were going to do it, because obviously her character from the original movie is dead, right? Is dead. So how do we bring her back? We can't bring her back, right? I mean, that was the first thought was, it's too bad we can't bring back Lynn, because that'd be fun, right? That'd be cool. And it's cool because even though she only lasts, or she's only in the movie for the first 10 minutes, she is, seen throughout the rest of the movie with the bag over her head in the attic. And what's really cool is that image of Claire in the attic with the bag over her head, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like Black Christmas or not. You don't have to like it. You can think it's the biggest pile of shit in horror history. The fact of the matter is that image of Claire in the attic with the bag over her head, no matter what image you look at, because there's many different angles and shots, that image is one of the most iconic images in the history of horror. It is. You don't have to like the movie to be able to be like, yeah, I've seen that. Like, I mean, it's especially at Christmas time, right? You know what I mean? It's on the poster, it's on, the DVDs, the Blu-rays, the VHSs, it's on the back of these things, it's on t-shirts, it is one of, the great symbols of horror. And so, we thought, God, how cool would it be to have that person back? But of course, her character is dead. And then we thought, hey, as we were writing, because we have a couple of different versions of certain things, we thought, maybe we could bring her back as her sister. Now, there was no mention of a sister in the original film, which is good. But we thought, who's to say that she doesn't have a sister that maybe is, a couple years older than her? And of course and she doesn't necessarily have to be her twin sister, because so much, time has gone by, right? As we age, we get older and we look different than what we did when we were in our 20s, right? And Lynn now, I think Lynn is in her late 60s, early 70s. She looks great, but of course, enough time has gone by that you can just have her play her sister. She doesn't necessarily have to play her twin sister. If this was just a couple years later, then yeah, we'd probably have to say this is her twin sister, but you don't have to do that. We could do it if we wanted to, but you don't have to do that. So we thought, I wonder if she would go with it. And these are the things that are going on, behind the scenes over the last couple of months. And so we didn't know if she'd be interested, but we wrote a character that we really liked. It's properly motivated, right? It makes sense. It's not just shoehorned in for the sake. It's not fan service for the sake of fan service. The character, it makes sense from a character perspective. The motivations of the character of why her sister would be interested in this makes total sense. Her sister Claire was murdered 50 years ago, and she believes that, the killer's never been caught, right? And there's a reason for that, I can't tell you why, but there is a very specific reason why she feels that way, but I cannot tell you what that is. So we thought, this really makes sense. And again, it's a short film, right? It's not a feature film. So it's not, these are, it's not like she's on, in the movie every 5 seconds. But it's an important role. It's a very important role. And we thought, I wonder if she'd go with it. Now, Lynn and I have the same voiceover agent, which is something we discovered about each other 3 years ago when I had her on the channel. To interview her in the lead up to the Indiegogo campaign for Chapter 1. Wonderful, wonderful lady. And we were like, oh, you're with Homicide. Yeah, we're with Fox. That's really cool. As I often say, the entertainment industry is very big, obviously, but it can be very small as well. So that's really cool. That's kind of cool. Now that's voiceover agent, right? That's not on-camera acting agent. So I wouldn't go through my own agent to hire Lynn for this role. That wouldn't make any sense. But it's just sort of a connection that's there, right? You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool. And but anyway, so I talked about it with Bruce, and obviously Lynn makes these really cool Christmas ornaments, these Christmas balls, black Christmas balls. Anytime you say the word balls, it's like you can't say balls for any reason without thinking, what am I, 5? Anyway, she makes these Christmas ornaments, these Christmas ball ornaments. So you gotta add something to it. You can't just say she makes these balls. Anyway, and inside is this image of her in the rocking chair, the bag over her head, and she signs them. And she makes them every Christmas, right? So she made a bunch for us for our Indiegogo campaign for chapter 1. Sold out like hotcakes, like just sold out like that, which is great. And I think she's also, the last year or two, she's been making snow globes. Same kind of thing, but snow globes, which is really cool. So anyway, we felt that we certainly could reach out to Lynn to see maybe if she wanted to help out with the campaign. We'll have more information on that soon. And but we thought, you know what, this is a really cool role, and we thought the fans would really like it. But again, we wrote something that it made sense. It made complete sense. It's not just fan service. It's the character makes sense. It's properly motivated. It totally works. Totally works. So we reached out to her, and we had a Zoom call with Lynn, myself, and Bruce and Lynn, and she's all game. She was all game. She loved the idea. She really liked the script. She gave a very nice compliment on our writing and how everything kind of comes to a head, and she was very excited about that. And she said she's very excited to be a part of it. So she's like, yes, count me in. I definitely want to do this. So that was awesome. So when she said yes, it was like, yeah, that's great, right? It's great for her. It's great for us. It's great for the project. It's great for you guys. It's a win-win all around. Like there's no downside to it. You know what I mean? And she's going to help out with the campaign again, of course. And so, I mean, it's just great. It's a win-win all around. So Lynn, by the way, will be at, I forget the name of the Comic-Con. It's a one-day Comic-Con. If you live in the Detroit or Windsor area, she'll be at, I forget the name of the Comic-Con. I hate saying Comic-Con because there's really only one Comic-Con. But it's a comic convention. It's a one-day thing, very small, but it's in Windsor. And her husband will be there tomorrow, April 1st, I believe. So if you're in the area and or you're planning on going, make sure you check her out. Her husband, her husband is Sean Sullivan, who's been in he's been in Wayne's World, Back to the Future 3. He has a reoccurring role on Umbrella Academy right now as the I don't know what this means because I haven't seen the show, but the older number 5. Or something, or the older number 5. I haven't seen the show, but if you watch the show, then you probably know who I'm talking about. That's her husband. So they've been married for 30 years, maybe, something like that. 25 years, 30 years, I think. And so they will both be there tomorrow. So, but yeah, really cool. We were very excited to finally make the announcement that she was going to be a part of it. And and of course, there is more casting to come, more casting that you don't know about yet, that we haven't announced yet. So obviously, confirmed right now, obviously, Lynn is returning to the Black Christmas world to play Nancy, the sister of Claire. So she's doing double duty, which is really, really cool. Victoria Miro, obviously, is returning to play Sam. Carol Coltman as Agnes. Brian Charles Peter as the physical body of Billy, which we're very excited about. And more casting news. We hope to have more casting news before the launch of the campaign. So the month of April will be very busy for us because it's go time. It's crunch time, right? We want to be able to be in a really good spot for the launch of that campaign. So so I just wanted to do this show and bring you guys up to speed and where we're at. We're just excited to be able to get this going. and obviously, it's always, you never know how you're going to do, you never know how a campaign is going to go. We didn't know how the campaign was going to go the first time around, and we did really well. We don't know how well we're going to do this time around. We hope you all come out and support, because that's the only way that you're going to see the movie, is if we are able to raise the production budget so we can deliver the same level of professionalism from top to bottom as we did before. And, obviously that costs a lot of money, and we have to be able to do that. If we can't do that, if we can't deliver the same level of professionalism as we did before, then we're just not going to do it. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense to us, right? You can't make an $80,000 movie on a $10,000 budget. That's just reality. And so, but I do, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I do believe in this community, that I think we can do it. We did it once before. I don't see any reason why we can't do it again. And it's just, to be able to complete the story as an artist, as a filmmaker, to be able to complete the story. So now there is a finished narrative. The arcs are complete, right? Is from an artist perspective is something we want to do. You could leave It's Me, Billy as it is right now, but it feels incomplete because there's that epic cliffhanger, right? So we want to be able to complete it and then move on to original work. That's the plan, right? I've been saying that from day one, and that's what we want to do. But we literally can't do this without you guys. We can't. It's, I know that might sound like something that, you just say to people, but it's literally true. Like, this is just as much your film as it is ours. Like, yeah, we're boots on the ground and we're the ones making the movie, sure, but we can't do it without you, so we'll see what happens, but we are excited about it. We are excited to have Lynn Griffin on board, returning to the Black Christmas world. So cool. I will get her on here, by the way, over the next couple of months. She's going to come on so you guys can meet her, and we'll have like an interview or something, or maybe I'll get her and Victoria and, some people on, or some of the other cast on as well. Maybe we'll have all the whole thing up. Everybody will come on. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to manage that, but definitely, certainly the month of April, Bruce is going to come on the channel as well. Once that campaign launches, we're in full mode, and if you follow me on social media, you've probably been seeing me post a lot about it, but I've got to, right? If I don't do it, who's going to? We are the studio. We are the marketing department. So we have to keep it out there. And by the way, I normally don't say this. It's not my thing to say, but if you're on Facebook and you haven't liked the It's Me Billy Facebook page, I would really appreciate a like and a follow or a follow. We're at 930 likes, I guess, right now. We're only 70 away from 1,000. It would be really cool to get the It's Me Billy Facebook page to 1,000 likes. I think that would be cool. Nothing happens. It's not like it's not like YouTube where if you get 1,000 subscribers, you're monetized. I just would love to get the Facebook page to over 1,000 likes. I think that looks good, and it's a nice round number. So the link is in the description right now. If you're not on Facebook, don't worry about it. Totally understandable. And follow me on social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram as well. If you're on there and you're not following me, excuse me, blah, 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 make sure you do that as well, because it'll be fun to just keep up to date, right? I want you guys to keep up to date with everything that's going on. So that's update number 3. That's update number 3, where we're at. So just to recap, the Indiegogo campaign is nearly complete. We've been working on it for about a month. We have, some of the same perks as we had before, but some new perks as well. And it's looking good that there will be an opportunity to also pick up Chapter 1 on Blu-ray. So for those of you that maybe didn't have an opportunity to get it and you want to, there probably will be an opportunity for you to pick that up. So that's a good thing as well. And we are on schedule to launch this thing on May the 1st in all its glory. And once we launch and I make that announcement on May the 1st that it's now live and all that, we need you guys to share it and share it and share it. I mean, don't share it with people who don't care. Like, don't go off and share it in a group that doesn't make any sense. But share it wherever you can. Like it, share it with your family, friends, Facebook pages, wherever. We need all the help we can get. We ain't Friday. We ain't Halloween. We ain't Elm Street. Those things can raise money in their sleep. We need all the help we can get. And so, because, we need to create that awareness, right? It's all about creating awareness. That's all it is just about creating awareness and getting it out there. So, we'd really appreciate it because, it's you guys that make this possible, right? It's true. I mean, it sounds like such a line, like some line that you just say to make people feel better. No, it's actually literally true. Like it literally is true. You know what I mean? So it actually, in this case, is literally true. In any Indiegogo campaign, it's literally true, So, so we're ready to launch that. And then, the Lynn Griffin casting, we're very excited about. So cool to have one of the most iconic, or the actress who is responsible for one of the most iconic images in the history of horror, to be coming back to the Black Christmas universe and the Black Christmas franchise and playing a role in our film, which is very exciting. It's just really cool, and we can't wait to introduce you to her character, which is really awesome. So, anyways, let's jump over to the chat room now and see what all of you guys are saying, and we can talk some shop here. Let me just make sure that I know some super chats came in, so let me make sure that I get them. Let's see here. Josh McKenna sends in $9.99 and says, how do writers choose names for characters? For example, how did you come up with the names Sam, Justine, and Emma? And are all the actors in IMDb Canadian? So I don't think there's a hard, fast rule, Josh. I chose Sam because it's a very, I chose names that were, common names that girls of this age in the year 2020, which is what it was, would have. Like, I'm not going to name them Margaret, Margaret, Betty, and, Helga or something, right? Because it's outdated. I don't believe that, right? I don't believe it. But you often do see Sam there's a Sam in the new Scream movies, right? It's obviously short for Samantha, but it's a very common name. It's a very common girl's name. Emma's very common. Justine is a very common name for, a black woman, right? So, we made sure that they were sort of, relevant to today, right? But there's no hard, fast rule. I mean, we could have named Malika Emma and, or Sam or so. I mean, but we wanted to make it feel real and feel believable and true. That was my process. The same with when it comes to Lynn, when we were casting, or when we were writing for this character. Lynn's character's name is Nancy, not because of A Nightmare on Elm Street, has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what would be a common name what would have been a common girl's name at the time that this character would have been born, right? Well, it's not going to be Chloe, right? It's not going to be, it's unlikely to be Sam or Emma, right? Not too many Sams being born in the late 1940s. So we looked for common girl names. And one of them was Nancy. And I thought, well, I like that. Nancy and Claire. I totally buy that. So that's why I chose Nancy. So yeah. So, I mean, I don't think there's a hard, fast rule. I think, it can come from many different places, many different inspirations. There's a variety of different reasons. But for us, it was all about what was relevant to the time period. And what sort of, what we believe these girls' names to be. Scott Woods sends in a very generous super chat of just $20. Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Amadusius sends in $5, says, hi, Dave. Any chance you could do some McRae lives as fundraiser drives where people donate super chats to the film, or must it all go through Indiegogo? No, that's a great idea, buddy. So in 2020, we did hold what we call, I think we had 2 Billy-a-thons is what we called them. And Bruce and I came on here. He was here in studio and we came on. They're on my channel. Maybe you've seen them. Maybe you remember them. And then, of course, we had the cast on as well via Zoom, which they would, come in and out throughout the show. The first Billy-a-thon, I think we went for like 5 hours. The second one, I think we went for 3. Between the 2 Billy-a-thons, I think we ended up raising about, say, anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000, which was great. And then I put what I got from that into the campaign. Now, we want to structure it a bit differently this time, because obviously when you send in a super chat, for those of you that may not know, but most of you probably do, YouTube takes about 30% of that. So if you send in $10, I don't get the $10, I get about 7 of it. So obviously, out of that $3,000, YouTube's getting quite a bit. So we want to structure it a bit differently this year. We may now you can you can still send in super chats, but we may do it. It's hard because the more work that a viewer has to do, the less likely they're going to do that. Like if we say, send in a question, but send it in over here and make sure you click here to donate. And then that's where you click, and then go over here and do that. And you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. The more work a viewer has to do, the less likely they're going to donate. So that's why we just did it with super chats. We knew that we'd take the hit of the 30%. We knew that. And the viewers knew that too. But we just felt that it was unlikely that they were going to, I got to click this link. I don't want to click. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to try and figure out a way to make it work this time around. So to answer the short answer is yes. We definitely want to do that to help out as well. But keep in mind, always keep in mind, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, that if you have extra money, if you got, a bonus, or you just got a couple of bucks burning a hole in your pocket, you got some extra bucks. You can donate to the campaign as well. You don't have to pick up a perk, right? Because maybe you've already done that. You've got your Blu-ray, you've got your t-shirt. I don't want anything else, but I have like $30 here. But I don't want to pick up a perk. You can just donate. There is a button on the campaign that says donate here, and you can just donate. And that way you're just donating money to the campaign. You don't have to buy a perk or anything like that. So always keep that in the back of your head as well, that is something that you can do. Chris Baber sends in $1.99. Balls, balls, balls. I know, it's such a word that's like, how do you say this? Andrew Stevens, one of my great mods. Andrew Stevens sends in $10. Thank you, Andrew, and says, I'm paying this just to have you say balls again. Balls. There you go. Balls. Christmas balls. Josh McKenna follows up with $4.99, says, I know you love chocolate milk, but do you have a favorite soda or alcoholic drink? I'm not big on alcohol, so probably not. Favorite soda? I don't think so. I mean, I like Dr. Pepper. I like Coke, just regular, Coca-Cola. Root beer is really good. You know what I mean? Not really. I don't drink it a lot. Oh, I like ginger ale. I do like ginger ale. But I don't drink, the last soda, as we say here in Canada, pop, I had was, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago when I was out for dinner or something. I don't drink it that often. I really don't. So, but I'll say something like that. Probably. And Mikey Film sends in $2 and says, Happy Friday, Dave. Happy Friday to you as well, Mikey. Can't wait for Billy Chapter 2. Nor can I. Nor can I. We're excited. I think that's all the super chats so far, right? I think that's it. I don't think any more came in. Did I miss any more? No, I think that's it. I think I'm good. Yeah, no, very excited about it. Yeah, it's surreal to be stepping back into this again, but it's exciting and it's fun to be able to, move forward. And, when Lynn reached out to me and she said, I just finished reading, I'm paraphrasing, but she said, I just finished reading your script. And she said, and I love it. And she said, I love, the tension building and I love this and that. And she said, I appreciate the strength of your writing. And so that was a big compliment. I mean, this is a woman who's, been doing this before I was born. She's been acting for, 50 years. She's been in a lot of different things, stage, like not just film, but theater and Stratford, which is a huge theater scene up here in Canada, very famous. Stratford, Ontario, which I think is where Justin Bieber's from, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, and she's been on all kinds of shit, US and Canada, mostly in Canada, but in the States as well. She had a small role. I didn't realize this. And I can't believe this movie actually it's only got 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't amazing, but it's not 7% bad. I actually kind of liked it. 7%. I got to see how many reviews there are, but I'm like, what? Daniel Craig, 2011, Dreamhouse. Now, it's not amazing. I'm not saying it's one of the great horror movies of all time. I'm not saying that at all. But I watched it like a couple years ago. And Lynn is in that movie. She's got a small role in that movie as Sadie. And when she popped up, I was like, oh, that's Lynn. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, rock on. And by the end of the movie, I was like, I thought it was fine. Now, the trailer gives everything away. Do not watch the trailer. If you haven't seen the movie, don't watch the trailer. Just read the synopsis and watch the movie. I thought it was all right. I think it was amazing, I didn't think it was like, oh my God, like one of the best. Not at all. But I mean, that's very far and few between at the end of the day. How many movies can we, you know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it depends on, your threshold and what your standards are. But I was like 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like you're basically saying that this is a piece of shit. This movie is one of the worst movies in the history of film. It's like, really? How many, hang on, let me just see how many, I want to know how many reviews there are. 90 reviews, yeah, and 36% audience score. 90 reviews, 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe I just got to be honest with you. I just didn't think it was that bad. I could see it maybe being like, a 35, 40% in there. I could see that. 7, I don't know. Anyways, she was in that movie too. So, she's been around. And it's just so cool to have her on board and a chance to work with her as well. Oliver Mercer sends in £5. Thanks, Oliver, and says, say if you accidentally break cameras on set, would you be held responsible to pay for it? P.S. Would there be a perk where you could meet the cast? Okay, so the first part of your question, that's why you have insurance. That's why you have insurance. So everything is covered, including all the equipment. If you do not have insurance and you're working with, an Arri with Master Prime lenses and something happens, yeah, the replacement cost for, let's put it this way. Our zoom lens, okay, that we had on set, the replacement cost of the zoom lens. So if we had no insurance and we just had to replace that lens was about $200,000. So, and that's just one lens. So I think our entire camera package was probably about $500,000 replacement cost. So it is very important that when you're dealing at this level with that level of equipment, you have insurance. Now the second part is would there be a perk where you can meet the cast? So the perk where that's going to be, obviously, is probably the highest perk. So your executive producer perk. And that is, I can tell you that there will be there's an open invitation to visit the set, obviously. Travel and accommodations are not included. Or if you cannot afford to, come to the set, or wherever you are in the world, you can't, afford to make it to set. We're also offering a Zoom call, a tour of the set behind the scenes where you get to see what's going on. You meet the cast, you get to say hi to everybody, and, you're on there for maybe 45 minutes or something like that. That is something we did for Knightley Gaimo, who was one of our executive producers on It's Me, Billy Chapter 1. Now, Knightley only lives in, Knightley, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's in Michigan or somewhere around there. So he's not that far from us. And if it wasn't for COVID, he would have come to the set. Excuse me. But unfortunately, the borders were closed, and by law, we had to have a closed set. So that means that nobody outside of the actual production was allowed on set for health and safety reasons. So what we did in that case was we Zoomed him in. So during some downtime, I think it was during the day that we were doing a turnaround. So the first 2 days were day shoots, and then we had nearly a 24-hour turnaround, and then we went into night shoots. So during that downtime, where everybody was sort of just getting set up and kind of beginning their day, is when I Zoomed with Knightley and took him on a set tour, and he got to see everything that was going on and meet the cast and some of the crew, and it was a lot of fun. So we're bringing that back as also an option for the executive producer perk, in case you can't make it to the set for whatever reason. You live too far, or you can't afford it, or whatever happens. So yeah. Now, while you're on set, you're there for, a day or two, or, what have you. We can take care of food and all that kind of stuff. We'll feed you, but it's just an invitation to the set. And that is standard. That's standard practice. That's what has been done on many of these types of Indiegogo campaigns. It's an open invitation. Not necessarily an all-expense paid vacation. So, and then of course, with the executive producer's perk, you get every single perk below it. So every single perk below it you will get. You will also, I can tell you, you'll also get a Zoom call with myself and Bruce as well. A private Zoom call with just myself and Bruce before we go to camera as well. So it's a big tier. I don't know what the price point's going to be yet, but it's going to be expensive. That's just the reality. There's a lot in there, and that's how these campaigns are structured. But again, like I've always said, these campaigns are often won, you have to think about it, it's a marathon, right? It's not a race. And now we have to have a strong start. Like I've always said, we have to have a strong start out of the gate. So if our again, I don't know yet, but if our budget is like 80,000, it would be great in that first week to be in and around like 25, 30,000. That would be great. Don't know if it's going to happen, but that would be great. Like in that first week or two, if we're hitting there, that's good. That's good. But if in our first week or two, we only have, $1,000, that's not good. That's not a good start. Ain't looking like you're going to win the election. I think we're going to have a new president. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think this is good. Voters ain't coming out. But yeah, no, there will be. But But yeah, it's obviously the higher tiers. It's not a lower tier. Where Nomad has gone before says, I text you about sending you DVDs on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, I will make sure to look at that. I can't promise I'm going to want them. To be fair, I don't. It depends on what you're wanting to send me. Okay, I don't want just DVDs that you don't want anymore. If you want to send me like, I don't know, Cocaine Bear or something like that, cool. But if you just have a stack of DVDs you don't want, I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't want them either. So just keep that in mind. But I will reach out to you. I will make sure to reach out to you. Thank you for reminding me. It's just been so busy. Fauci Cinema, Fauci, my man, Mad Fauci. Sends in $2. Thanks, buddy. Says Billy hot tub scene in It's Me Billy 2. There may be a little bit of an It's Me Billy hot tub scene. We might have that where Billy is sitting in the hot tub screaming and yelling, and he gets up and you see his bare ass cheeks, and it's just like, oh my God, what's going on here? What the hell is this? Can you imagine? That'd be hilarious. Frank would like that. Amaducia sends in $2, says, ideas? IMB Patreon where subs get weekly BTS videos. It's a great idea. On paper, it's a great idea. It just all comes down to, listen, I can tell you right now that you guys who are part of my Patreon will definitely be getting some exclusives, no doubt about it. If you're on my Patreon right now, you got a little bit of an exclusive today. So if you didn't know about that, go and check it out, but keep your lips quiet. Not about Billy, it was about something else. Not about the project. Let me try that again. Not about It's Me Billy, it was about something else. So you got a bit of, so you will definitely, yeah, for sure. But I don't want to overpromise, right? I'd rather underpromise, overdeliver, because I just don't know how busy things are going to be. It's all about managing what do we, because we definitely want to show some exclusives for Patreon, but Patreon's a very small, which I like, right? But it's very small. And what do we show for the masses to get the hype going? It's all about balance, all that kind of stuff. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. For sure. You're not wrong, my man. You're not wrong. I like the way you're thinking. For sure. I like the way you're thinking. I think I've got all the super chats so far, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think so anyway. But yeah, no, we're excited, man. We're excited. And like I said, more Helga is sexy. Yeah. Helga, can you imagine? Sam, Justine, and Helga. Shelby's got a great sense of humor. She probably would have thought, your name is Helga, Shelby. Helga, yes, Helga. Can you imagine when Justine, during her death scene, she yells out, right? Sam, Emma, can you imagine? Sam, Helga. Helga, oh my God. Alex Schembach says, Dave, if I can make a contribution of $25 at the start of the campaign and $25 at the end, does that count as two separate entries or $50 toward the perks? Best of luck to you and Bruce. Well, it depends. I mean, if you, are you donating that? Again, if you're just donating $25 at the beginning of the campaign and donating $25 at the end of the campaign, those are just donations. So when you just donate, like you go to the campaign and there's a donate here button, right? And you just don't, that's just a donate. You don't get any perks for that. That's just you donating because you believe in the project and you don't want any more perks, or you don't want a perk, you just want to donate, right? So you don't get anything for that. But if you pick up a perk that is worth $25, and then you pick up another perk that maybe is, in and around the same, those are two separate perks. Yeah, they can be. Yes, but if you donate $25 to $25 to $20, that is $50 towards the campaign. Yeah. There's no. it's not like Super Chats where you donate 25, but Indiegogo takes 30% of that. So you're really only donating like, $20 or something, right? That's not how it works. However, keep in mind that Indiegogo does take 5% of the total. So keep that in mind. So if our production budget's $85 and we raise $85,000, we only get about $80,750 of that. So we lose about $4,250 to Indiegogo. That's their percentage. So keep that in mind as well. And that's nothing new. That's the same with every campaign. That was the same with Billy, right? It's the same with every campaign. So keep that in mind. But that and we have no control over that. And it makes sense. They're a business. They have to get their cut. I get that. So that's why it's important that we, raise as much as we can, so the percentage doesn't hurt us, right? You know what I mean? We're just like, okay, we factored that in. We have factored into the budget Indiegogo's percentage, which of course we obviously have done. But yeah, if you donate 25 at the beginning, 25 at the end, if they're just donations, they don't count for perks, but it's still $50. I think I'm understanding it correctly, but maybe I'm not. Antonis Andriotis says, hey Dave, will there be practical effects in It's Me Billy 2? Yes. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Yes. Unimpressive Media says, will you be advertising the perk prices before the campaign goes live? Yes, we will definitely be advertising. So I have a meeting with Bruce this Sunday. There's a lot of stuff that Bruce that we have to tackle this Sunday. What am I getting here? Your Google ad. Oh, okay. I don't know why you would do that, but okay. No problem. I'll just get another one. So yes, we will definitely be letting people know. So, but it's very similar to what was before. I can tell you right now that the prices have gone up a little bit, not like astronomically. I mean, it's not like a $10 perk is now like $100 or something like that. Not at all. But it's gone up a little bit. But that's fair because the prices, the cost of things have gone up, right? So it costs more now to rent the location. The production insurance now costs more. The actors' salaries go up, right? There's, things it's just more expensive. Life's just more expensive, as we know, right? So, but it's not like, it's not astronomical. It's not the price of, gas. Like, holy shit, I'm now spending $80 more than I was. It's not like that. But there's different tiers, right? There's the lower tiers, the middle tiers, the higher tiers. And I think there's some good shit in there. Like I said, there's the usual, there's your t-shirts, your Blu-rays, your special edition cover Blu-rays and things like that. And posters and hoodies and also too, when you do go to the campaign and you see a perk, click on the perk so you can read what else you get with it, because there's the hoodie, but if you click on it, you might get something else with it as well, right? And no matter what tier you get, as soon as, not donations though, this isn't donations, you have to pick up a perk. Or does it go with donations too? No, it must because no, it does. What am I saying? Of course it does. Because the name, of course it does. Duh. Because the name goes into the site. Yeah. So no matter if it's a perk you pick up or a donation that you give, your name will go into the end credits. So at the very least, you will get your name in the end credits. So keep in mind that because sometimes there were certain names during the end credits of chapter 1 that was like, Billy Bob 2445, and some people reached out to me. It was too late, but some people reached out to me and said, I didn't realize that my name was going to be in there. It's like, whatever name when you purchase a perk, whatever name you put down, that's the name that's going to be in the end credits. I don't have time to be going after people with, code names to find out who they are. So if you want, your name, like, Dave McRae, if you want your first and last name to appear in the end credits of It's Me Billy Chapter 2, make sure you sign up, or you donate, or when you pick up a perk, that you do it with your name. Okay. And also any, names that are inappropriate will also not appear. Okay. It's just like, I don't have time for that stuff. So no, like, Trump 2024 and shit like that. Like, no. It's not the time and place for that kind of stuff. Okay. Just put your fucking name down. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just put your name down. So keep that in mind as well. I will catch it and I'll be like, no, not happening. I'm just saying, right? Like, we got to keep this, come on. It's not being used. I don't want this to be used as your vehicle to make a statement. Okay. But yeah, please make sure that when you do because there have been some people that were like, oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, that's me, Billy Bob 4672, and oh, damn, and they were upset, but it was too late. I was like, that's what you put down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Sign up with your name, or sign up. I mean, you can sign up with the names you use here, like Evil Alex. That's cool. Geeked Out Turtle Fan, 42. That's cool. I actually think Geeked Out Turtle, I think you were in the first one as Geeked Out Turtle Fan, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's cool. Like, I'm totally cool with that. But just keep in mind, if you want your actual name in it, when you pick up a perk, you gotta make sure that you are signing up with your actual name, because otherwise I'll just get the name you signed up with. Have I got all the super chats? I think I have. AAA Gamer says, can we get some McRae Halloween content sometime soon? It's been too long since I've clicked on this channel. Well, AAA Gamer, I hope that you click on this channel even when there is no Halloween content. I'm going to talk about Halloween when there's something to talk about. But when there's nothing to talk about, I'm not going to talk about it just for the sake of talking about it. I appreciate that you are a passionate Halloween fan. You are welcome here. I think that is awesome. But it's quality over quantity. I just don't have anything to talk about. Nothing that interests me. Yeah, but you could do top 5 Halloween scores. Yeah, but that doesn't interest me. Yes, you're right. I could do top 5 Halloween scores and there'd be 190 people watching right now. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about what I'm passionate about. Right. And so when there's Halloween news to talk about, when there's, or if there's something that does, you know what, that's kind of, you know what, I've never talked about that. You know what, I'm going to get on there and talk about that. Then I'll do it. But I'm hoping that you tune in when I'm talking about other things. If you're a horror fan, then I would hope you would tune in when I'm talking about horror. I mean, I just uploaded a video where I did my top 5 jump scares, right? Or even when I'm talking about Billy, tune in and just hang out with us. Just come in and hang out with us and chill and relax, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I will talk Halloween when there's Halloween stuff to talk about. But guys, I've talked about it all. I mean, I've done over 1,000 videos on this channel, and at least 700 or 800 of them have to be Halloween related, So yeah, I will when there's stuff to talk about. But come and join us, be part of the community. That's what we want. We want everybody to hang out here. You know what I'm saying? Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, was I in the credits? And can we get me Billy matching thong and shirt? I don't know if you were. I have no idea. I can't. Just the name, for whatever reason, I feel like I saw Geeked Out Turtle Fan in the end credits. Maybe I did. Maybe if you are in there, well, that means you either picked up a perk or you donated money. I'm not sure which, but it's true. Yeah, I love that. And can we get an It's Me Billy matching thong and t-shirt? Yeah, there may be some It's Me Billy thongs. It's entirely possible. There may be. Can you imagine? Can you imagine doing, like, actually doing that? It's Me Billy thong. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah, that's right. See, Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, well, Dave McRae, you technically didn't do a video analyzing Dr. Loomis's toenail fungus. That is true. That is true. And it is something that maybe I should do. Maybe I should be doing Dr. Loomis's toenail fungus. I don't know. Evil Alex says, I discovered Black Christmas because of you. Now one of my favorite horror films. Dude, see? That's my point. Now, I understand it. It's Black Christmas and he's doing It's Me Billion. I get all that. But take Black Christmas out of the equation, right? Like, that's why I always encourage people to tune into me when I'm not talking Halloween. Tune into me when I'm talking like, about anything else. Because you learn so much. I don't mean because, I'm such a good teacher. No, I just mean that depending on what the topic is, right? There's shows I've tuned into and heard people talking about movies I've never heard of. And I'm like, dude, that sounds fucking amazing. I got to check it out. I watch them like, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? And look what happened to you. There must have been a long time ago. I was talking Black Christmas. You'd never seen it. You're like, what's this Black Christmas? All right, I don't know. Sounds interesting. He's doing this film on it. I'll watch it. And then after it's done, you're like, holy shit. That's fucking great. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool. I mean, that's how you really build. I think it would be easier if I was somebody that did reviews, right? I think if I did movie reviews, people would be more engaged outside of Halloween because I would be talking about the latest horror movie that's out, right? Whether it's Cocaine Bear, whether it's Scream, whether it's, 65, whatever, right? I'd be talking about it. But I'm just not somebody that has an interest in doing that. I don't want to set those expectations. I'm not a movie reviewer. I'm just a commentator, really, or a pundit, I guess, to a degree in this space, right? That's not my job, but on YouTube, that's sort of what I am. Because I have to be motivated to talk about it. I don't know if part of me is just kind of jaded or bitter about the industry and how certain things are or what, I don't know. But there's just so much stuff that I see come down the pipe. It's like, I don't give a crap about that. Like, I just don't care, And it's like, yeah, but millions of people do care. And it's like, I understand that. And that's amazing. That's awesome and good for them. But I can't pretend to care because it will be disingenuous. Anything I talk about on this channel, whether it's a McRae Live, whether it's on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, and by the way, Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, all you fans out there that don't care about Billy today will be happy to know that that this Monday on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, it's another versus thing. It's Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'll make that announcement this weekend. I'm sure you'll be very excited. Oh, that's something I want to tune in. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand. I know my viewers. I know who's into what and who's not into. I get all that. Let's see here. Mendel Goodman sends in $2, says, how would you rank the horror movie franchises? What franchises are you talking about? Mendel, I'm the horror movie franchises. What horror movie franchises are you talking about? There's tons of horror movie franchises, so I don't know which ones you're talking about. JBeach12078 says, Dave, back in June 2018, I came for the Halloween vids and I've stayed because of you, Dave. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Again, I know that, the YouTube algorithms are very unfriendly. They're very unfriendly. And like the second you don't post for like 5 days, it kills you. It does. And it's I can tell you, and I can speak on behalf of all creators, it's bullshit. Because it's like you have to be posting all the time, every day, this time, that day. It's no wonder that a lot of YouTubers, experience burnout and stress. And it's because just the level to compete at a high level on YouTube is brutal. It's just brutal. Like the second you're inactive for like 2 days, it affects you. It absolutely affects you. And it's like, God, I can't be fucking posting every second of every fucking day, but that's how it's designed. And that's what YouTube wants you to do, and it's like, Jesus, I'm just like, I just don't care to do that. I just like all the power to the people that are doing that. That's amazing. But it's just too exhausting to me. I'm just not in. I think part of the reason too is my level of interest isn't as broad as it is for some people, right? You look at these channels that just are into everything. They're watching every show that comes out and play every game that comes out and every superhero movie that comes out and every horror movie that comes out. And their interest is just the same across. I just don't have the same interest in as many things. I'm a little more linear, I guess. I'm a little more like, I'm interested in this and this, but I don't care about this. I mean, Jesus Christ, if I started talking about superheroes on this channel and like really started talking about it and doing my homework and diving deep into it, fuck, I'd have 100,000 subs by now. You know what I mean? Because that's the hot button ticket right now is superhero films, right? That's what gets you your views and your subs. And of course, if I continue to talk Halloween, I will talk Halloween when there's stuff to talk about for sure. Yeah, what horror franchises are you talking about, man? Michael, Jason, Scream, Texas, and Freddy. Well, for me, in terms of, it depends on what the measuring stick is, right? Like, what am I ranking? The quality of the franchises? Okay, the quality of the franchises, I would probably say, I'm going to say that Friday or Freddy is first. No. Scream would be first. In terms of franchise, the quality of the franchise, Scream would be first, then probably Freddy, then Jason, then Michael, then Texas. Probably. The quality of the franchise. Not my favorite franchise, quality of the franchise. That's how I'm ranking them, because the Scream franchise has yet to have a real shitty movie. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Myers 1963 sends in €2 and says scariest movie moment. Ooh. Well, you know what? I don't know, but I'm going to refer to my my jump scare video yesterday that I uploaded, and my number one jump scare is from The Ring. I think that's one of the scariest movie moments of all time. The closet jump scare when her mother says, "I saw her face." And then there's that jump scare that nobody saw coming. Nobody saw coming. There's jump scares you anticipate and you see coming. Nobody saw that coming, just as nobody saw the Exorcist 3 jump scare coming. But that jump scare, when it's just boom and you see her face and her mouth open and her head goes like this, fucking incredible. One of the best jump scares. Well, it was my number one on my top 5 jump scares of all time, and one of the scariest movie moments of all time for sure. Hands down, for sure, absolutely. Brando Short says, out of the 3 YouTube movie critics channels, remember, I'm not a movie critic, but I understand. Which one is your best? Oh, I see. You're asking. Oh, I see what you're asking. I thought you were going to say something else. Out of these 3 YouTube movie critic channels, which one is best in your opinion? Chris Stuckman, Cinema Sins, or Red Letter Media? I've never watched Cinema Sins, so I don't know. Chris Stuckman I've watched. I think he's very good. He's very he's good. He's good. Red Letter, I'm going to say that, Red Letter Media is good. I like them. But they're also like Chris Stuckman tends to be more, obviously his videos are shorter. He's more concise. He's looking at it from not that the hosts on Red Letter Media don't do this, but Chris Stuckman really comes at it from an analytical filmmaking perspective a lot of the times. Whereas Red Letter Media tends to be, there's a lot of jokes going around. They're drinking beers and sometimes they will offer some interesting insights, but usually it's just guys just hanging out, shooting the shit. Chris Stuckman is more talking about, character, story, cinematic language, things like that. So again, it depends on what we're looking for. It's different strokes for different folks. So out of those 3, I would say Stuckman and Red Letter Media. Cinema Sins, I don't even know what that is. I mean, maybe I've seen them. I'm not sure, but not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head, anyway. Let's see here. What's the time? We got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes left in today's episode, folks. About 10 minutes left in today's episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in, by the way, and hanging out with me as we talk some It's Me, Billy. I hope you guys are very excited about it. We're counting on you guys. We're counting on you guys to make it a reality. It's very, very exciting. Let's see here. Let's see. Just scrolling back, seeing if there's anything I haven't missed. Matt says, Dave is definitely one of my favorite content creators out there. Comforting channel for sure. Well, I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, I think I got all that. Oh, wait, was that a super... No, that I did get that one. The scariest moment. I got that one. Geeked Out Turtle Fan says, will you and Tony do more what if videos like you did with the Friday the 13th movies? And if they kept going with the Tommy Jarvis character, they are some of your more interesting Two Dudes episodes. Definitely. Absolutely. You know, we just have to figure out a topic. You know, I think we did about 9 or 10 what if videos. So we'll do more for sure. We're in a bit of a versus series right now. I think we've done 3 of them so far. I think this Monday will be our 4th, I think, if I'm not mistaken, our 3rd or 4th, which is fun, you know. And of course, there's a deep pool for that kind of stuff too. So definitely fun indeed. Unimpressive Media says, what's more important in a horror film in terms of effect you leave on the audience, the opening or the ending? The ending. The ending's more important, for sure. The ending would be more important. Again, how a movie opens is important, of course, but no. What you leave an audience with, whether that's the message you want them to leave with, the moral you want them to leave with, the last image of the movie you want them to leave with, and so many layers and symbolism within that, in my opinion, it would be the ending of a movie for sure. Meyer63 again sends in €2. Thank you. Says, trick or treat, mother. I had to, sorry. No worries. Trick or treat, motherfucker. There you go, my man. There you go. Now, I haven't told anybody, but Busta Rhymes has been cast in It's Me, Billy Chapter 2. Busta Rhymes is in there. We're very excited to have Busta Rhymes in the movie. He's playing Billy's girlfriend. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Chester Franklin Jr. says, Dave, are you and Tony are time off from the watch-alongs? We haven't had a watch-alongs. Oh, I see what you're saying, Chester. Yeah, no, we'll go back to it. We're planning on doing one for Cocaine Bear. We'll go back to it. Again, we just needed to keep things fresh, right? You know, there was a point there where, you know, I mean, God, how many? We did maybe 100 episodes where we did watch-alongs, and then, you know, we've watched a lot. I mean, that's like 100 movies, right? You know, so, and all different kinds, like, I mean, action adventure to horror to Godzilla movies to old black and white. I mean, we watched a lot. So we just like to keep things fresh. I mean, you know, we're closing in on 200 episodes now, and that's a lot of episodes. So we just needed to, you know, keep things fresh, keep people on on your toes, but we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll probably do a watch along for Scream as well. Scream 6. We'll see how that goes. That's right. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Evil Monsterism says the episodes where you guys analyze paranormal videos are awesome. Yeah, that's fine. We're definitely going to do more of those. That's all. I mean, obviously, you know, they're not too convincing. But it's fun to look at them. It's fun to pick them apart. It's fun to watch them. It's just fun to hang out with you guys as we watch them. That's what it's all about, at the end of the day, right? It's just fun to, it's fun. I think it's fun anyway. Can I cast Jennifer Lopez for your next movie? I don't think we could afford Jennifer Lopez. But if Jennifer Lopez is interested in being cast in a movie that I make, I can't think of, to be honest with you, I don't see a Jennifer Lopez in a movie of mine in the near future. Sorry. Don't think we could afford her either. Moments to Memories. I like that. Moments to Memory says, will there be a double feature Blu-ray release for It's Me, Billy Chapter 1 and Chapter 2? Yes. So when it comes to the Indiegogo campaign, it is likely that you will see that as a perk. Yeah, pick up Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 as one perk. You'll also be able to get Chapter 2 on its own as well. And so we're just finalizing all this now. But yeah, it's exciting stuff, man. It's exciting stuff. So yes, I believe that you will. Okay, let me see. One more minute to go here. I've got all the super chats, right? I don't think I missed any. I don't believe I missed any super chats. I don't think I did anyway. But we shall see. Let me see here. I'm just scrolling way back just to see if there's anybody that's new that I haven't seen yet. No. Okay. No, I think that's pretty good there. That's pretty good. Got that. All right, folks. Well, listen, that's going to do it for this episode of McRae Live. Just bringing you all up to date on where we are with It's Me, Billy Chapter 2. The Indiegogo campaign launches May the 1st. We hope that we will see all of your wonderful faces when that campaign launches, because we want to get your names into those end credits too, because that's always cool for sure to see. What's so cool about seeing the 663 names that scroll by at the end of Chapter 1 is it's so moving. Like it's humbling to see, like, these names. These are the people that are responsible for this. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really cool. It's really cool to see that. It was very humbling to see. But yeah, hey, listen, if you want to follow me on social media and you're not already, you can. There are my links right there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. Yeah, that'll do it for me. I will see you guys on Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Make sure you tune in that. Oh, Oliver Mercer going hard into the paint at the very end. Oh, he's got a couple. He's got, I don't know what's going on here. Hang on a sec, Oliver. Hang on. You've got, how many came in? Wait a minute. I'm only seeing one. Whoa. What's going on here? Let me see here. Maybe that's just, hang on a sec. Maybe that's just, for some reason. Yeah, it's just one, but it's showing up at the top as like 5 for some reason. That's weird. Oliver sends in 5 pounds and says, would you do a Two Dudes video breakdown on some real UFOs? Do you know of the STS-75 space shuttle missions? I don't know about that, no, but Oliver, I will look into it, and I could see Tony and I do it. I don't know if Tony has any interest in UFOs. I'm not entirely sure, but I could absolutely see us doing something. I wouldn't mind. So, I'll talk to Tony about it for sure, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, folks, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me talk about this. I just like to keep you guys in the loop and bring you up to speed on where we're at and what's going on, being totally transparent about that kind of stuff. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Oh, and thanks, of course, to my great moderators, Frank Reiger, Tab the Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, Cody Snyder, and Andrew Stevens. Thank you to the Super Chat questions that came in today and those non-Super Chat questions that came in as well. Whew! Almost forgot that part of it. All right, folks, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.